obsess, for understandable reasons, about the backstory of Much Ado About Nothing, trying to work out exactly what kind of relationship Beatrice and Benedict used to have back before the play started, and who is to blame for what and how they broke up. Forget that, you can't go there. I want you to pay attention instead to the language of the first scene. The language is real. Am I harping on this? Yes, I am harping on this. On the other hand, if you're watching this video for any rational purpose, it's because you have to write a paper to me or two before the semester ends. And I'm telling you, you're going to pass that paper by paying attention to the language. If you don't owe me a term paper and you're watching this, you gotta get life, get it, do something. YouTube is full of other things to do. Come on. There's other entertaining and educational things besides this. Move along. If you're one of my students, pay attention to that language. Something is rotten in Messina. Not terribly rotten. Not a rotten orange necessarily, or only a rotten orange, not the really rotten things in the state of Denmark. Let me turn to Act 1, Scene 1, from about line 85. Don Pedro says, "Good Signor Leonato, are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it. Oh, well, you're coming out to meet me, but I'm going to bring expense and trouble." This is true. A monarch visiting a subordinate's home is incredibly costly. When Queen Elizabeth went on progress around her kingdom, she stayed at people's houses, and they prepped for it, and they borrowed money for it, and it could be financially ruinous. Disaster. Queen Elizabeth comes to your house. Okay? You got to feed her, you got to feed the small army she travels with, of servants, etc., some actual soldiers. Everybody, it's you got to entertain her, kill her. Leonardo says this, "Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace, for trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave." Man, that is some BS. Actually, it's good diplomacy. I want to point out that the language of this play, the normal, approved, elite social language, is openly dishonest, in the way that a lot of diplomatic or business speak or kind of etiquette is. We're saying certain things that everyone knows are not quite true, but are the thing to say. We're a certain amount of understood BS. It's not a lie. Leonardo isn't pretending to love him. He's simply spinning. Yes, it's election season. He is spinning like a top, right? Look out. The normal language of this play has a certain amount of dishonesty in it, a certain amount of BS. It asks you to figure out what is true and what is false. And the elite figures at the center of it are easily deceived. They're taken in by falsehoods very easily. I would suggest to you that these two things are, however indirectly, connected. While we're looking at language, look at my man Benedict and not my man Claudio and their first side conversation. Notice the pronouns going on. One of these people is using one pronoun to address the other's using the other pronoun back. There are a lot of reasons that could be. It's not the only time it happens in this play, but when one character is speaking, is thouing the other, and the other's youing back, you ask why that is. I'm not going to tell you why that is. I want you to think about it.